Shadow Show.
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 Shadowing it.
Why did you walk in here today asking how much skin weighs?
It's an interesting fact that I reveal on the Greg Cody Show podcast with Greg Cody. I have a 3 facts jack that I do every week, and one of the I only do things that surprise me, that I didn't know, that I think people would be interested in. And it's a matter of fact that the human skin weighs about 20 pounds. In other words, if you were skinned alive, the physicality of your shed skin would be the equivalent of 2 bowling balls. It's an incredible total. I always think of skin as almost featherweight.
Greg,
Yeah.
you mean to tell me if Dan were skinned alive?
It would be a little more than 20.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
I mean, nothing is exact. You know, a thin person might be 18, Dan might be 26.
You think my skin weighs more than your skin?
Oh,
Isn't it the
hell yeah.
fat surrounding the skin? Like the skin would all weigh the same, no?
Yeah, but
a fat person's skin and a skinny person's
Right,
skin.
just depends on how tall or short you are.
How much skin you got?
Well, you know, I've never cannibalized anyone. I'm not sure about the details, but what I'll tell you is, roughly speaking, the people don't think of skin as the organ. The biggest organ on the human body is the skin. And it weighs 20 pounds.
I don't think that's accurate.
It can't be.
I don't think the biggest organ is skin.
Yes, it is.
That's
Yes, it
absolutely
is.
accurate.
Well-
Yes, it absolutely is.
Biggest by weight.
No, it's by surface area.
Oh,
By surface area.
Certainly by surface area.
Now, by weight, I would guess, my guess would be it'd have to be a percentage of your body weight. I would say, I don't know, 20%, 15% of your body weight is skin. Because obviously the bigger you are, the more skin you got.
Some of us have a bigger organ.
I don't think of skin as an organ, and I thought the large intestine could unspool around the earth or something. I thought the large intestine was something that stretched much longer than people would imagine it stretches.
It does.
when I was
it does.
growing up, one of the jokes kids would do is like, ooh, hey, Greg, your epidermis is showing. Don't say that about me. It's just the term for your skin. It just means your skin is showing, but
I
it
got
sounds naughty.
It does
So when
sound
someone
naughty.
says that to me, I'm like, oh no, you clutch yourself.
Why were you thinking of this, Greg? Like, how did it come up? If one were skinned alive, their skin would weigh 20 pounds on a scale.
I researched with great diligence my 3 facts jack segment. on my
Guaranteed he's
podcast.
just scrolling down like 50 interesting facts.
No. I researched. I looked them up.
But how did it come up? Like, how did you arrive at, if you were skinned alive and placed the skin on a scale, it
Right.
would weigh 20 pounds? Put it on the poll, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Did you know your skin weighs roughly 20 pounds?
Yeah, the origin of the 3 facts jack, it's proprietary information. But let's just say that it came from great diligence and research.
It's the small intestine, by the way. That's the long one,
Yes,
not the large
exactly.
intestine.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, exactly right.
Okay,
I was
thank you.
thinking that, but I didn't want to correct it.
How
How gracious.
how long is it? How long is the small intestine?
Depends on what you're working with, Dan.
Zaz is substantive.
Sweaters on, face off, now the time is here. Mix them up as you're changing on the fly. Hip checks, hat tricks are gonna make them cheer. Got the blocks start to chirp and riding high. Now it's time for action tonight's gonna burn this barn right up. Slap shot will light the lamp so nice. Let's go for a breakaway on the chase to raise the cup. We'll be standing on our heads till we meet 'em at center ice. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack, baby, and we'll meet you at center ice.
Greg Cody is wearing his finest terry cloth shirt to celebrate a fun regular season Monday night in South Florida sports. always fun when the Heat beat the Knicks. I think the interesting story from that game is what is Khalil Ware going to become, right? Because freakishly athletic. It's still strange to me to see someone that size be able to move that way. It's still not a normal thing for me. I know it's normal throughout the league and it's human evolution, but still weird to see that 3 of the 4 All-Stars didn't play for both teams, so it's not representative of anything except that you can't trust Karl Anthony Towns when he's the best player on the court because he needs to be better than he was at the beginning of the game. So we'll talk about Heat Knicks in a second, but first, the Panthers scored 8 goals last night. Now, I saw one game this season at Anaheim. Anaheim's pretty good this year. They're offensively very good. And when I was in Los Angeles, I was watching the game against Anaheim, and I legitimately got fooled by the amount of scoring Anaheim was doing in the third period because I asked my friend on 2 of the goals, is that a replay from the last goal? Like, did they just score again? And they just kept scoring in the third period, a period that the Panthers owned the last 2 years and owned again last night.
Wait, were you there and you thought you were watching a replay?
No, I was watching on television.
That would be funny.
I was not in Anaheim. I was in Los Angeles. Weird. Yeah, I was in Los Angeles watching on television.
Oh, okay.
Because I wouldn't normally be watching the Anaheim Panthers game that late at night. I'm not a West Coast hockey guy after 11 p.m.
I just think it'd be strange
Florida.
if, like, you're at a game and then something tell you, like, am I watching a replay? You're there.
That would be strange.
Yeah.
Now, you watch all of the Panthers games. Do you also watch the West Coast games, though? You stay up until midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning when they're West Coast traveling?
Excellent question, Dan. For the rest of my life, yes, I had always stayed up for the West Coast games. I'm starting to feel my age now.
Uh-oh.
I'm having a very hard time staying. Like last week, the Heat and Panthers were both on the West Coast at the same time. I faded for all the games. I couldn't do it. I'm getting a little bit old.
That was a fun one last night. They scored 8 times. They annihilated Vancouver, which took a 2-0 lead in the game. And all they need to do is just get the season to Barkov and Kachuk in a place that's not in disrepair. They don't even need to be among the top 8 teams. They just need to be where they've been my entire existence as a Panther fan before they started winning, which is 5 or 6 points out of the final playoff spot. So, Roy, your thoughts so far? Another 1,000-point guy for the Panthers. I can't believe what's happening with the Panthers. None of this is still normal to me. To see them have the historic players, to see them have the celebratory nights where they get to go and interview the family because someone else is arriving at 1,000 points because their team is so deep. But both the local teams, the Heat and the Panthers, are really deep. The Heat are doing what they're presently doing, just staying above 500, waiting for their all-stars to get back with their bench. They're doing that with their depth, and the Panthers are doing the same thing. So, Roy, where are you on what the Panthers have done so far this season? Because they look pretty mediocre, but that's fine. You're fine with them looking mediocre. They need to not be bad.
Well, they look mediocre because there are about 6 players who are injured right now. And that's what tends to happen.
Including their 2 best ones.
Yes, exactly. But Brad Marchand has registered a point in all but 2 games this season, so he's keeping them afloat.
I mean, no Barkov, no Kachuk. They're missing a defenseman in Kulikov as well. They're missing their 4th-line center. And Carter Verhaeghe's been a ghost so far this season. Like, you can't wait for Barkov. Who knows if he's going to be available at some point. Although, there was video footage last week. He was, like, working out at a public park.
Without a brace.
He had no brace on.
Please, come on.
That made me feel good, Greg.
Yeah, but let's not be doctors here and claim a miracle. Barkov is out for the season. I would be shocked if he came back early.
I don't think that you can say that, given that this early he's able to have weight bearing on what was a bad injury. I don't think you can say he's out for the season. In fact, the talk around the team, Roy, you're around it more, but the talk around the team is they have the quiet expectation that he's going to get back before the playoffs, correct?
Absolutely. Like, he's rehabbing without crutches now.
Barkov told Eric Spoelstra 5 months.
Yeah. That's what he's aiming for right now.
And how
Bobby.
How long has it been? How many months?
It's been a month
First
and a
day
half.
training camp.
Okay,
yeah.
so 3.5 months would be what point in the season?
March.
Okay, so if you don't need him desperately, are you going to take that chance, bringing him back early?
Well, desperately
I'm
means
saying.
what? Like they need him to win a Stanley Cup. So yeah.
Well, okay, all right. I have different expectations about that.
Well, so
than
you say
guys.
don't be doctors, but you're willing to say that your prognosis is more accurate than Barkov's.
My prognosis is based on what the doctors have said thus far. I haven't heard anybody connected with the Panthers go on the record saying Barkov will be back soon.
Oh, but they won't do that. There's no circumstance under which they would do something like that.
They would rather underpromise, overdeliver.
Right.
That spot.
Okay, all right. I mean, you guys may prove right. I'm just saying, if I were a Panther fan, I would not expect Barkov.
Okay,
Kachuk soon.
So you don't you I understand that you don't want us to be doctors, but when a month and a half into rehab you're seeing somebody who on a bad injury is releasing video showing that he's in a park and he's putting weight on the leg. He's not limping, he's not walking around gingerly, he's running through a workout. I understand it's not it's not being on ice and it's certainly not playing in an NHL game, but if he's got 3.5 months and is already weight bearing on the injury, I mean, I'm willing to make a prognosis that hockey players, being totally insane, that there's no circumstance under which the captain and best player and best two-way player in the sport isn't going to try to get back as fast as he can, so he's not starting with playoff action, Greg.
Right.
Like you do not want to, you don't want your first games to be the playoff intensity. So I'm guessing that the goal is to get back and to test his body in a way that if he doesn't have a setback, he will. What are you smiling about? I mean,
I'm just saying, like,
Better get on board. I mean,
sometimes you want to pull back a little bit as to not arouse suspicions. A guy a month and a half after surgery is out here running. Doesn't sound odd to you guys? You're like, oh, this is great. This is amazing. He's a hockey player stuff. I'm like, really?
Yeah, it's a miracle.
A miracle, all right. A miracle of modern science.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, if you catch my drift.
I do catch
I
your
don't know
drift.
why your drift is
catch it.
is here, or I don't think it's worthy of being caught.
No, the drift is needed.
Greg caught
I
it.
don't catch your drift at all.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a
just-
valuable drift.
What are you accusing Barkov of?
I'm
Just
not
hold on
accusing
a
anything.
second. Hold on a second. Don't tell me you're not accusing him of anything. Hold on.
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation. You're good.
All I'm saying is, you guys seem to be excitedly marveling at this miraculous, way ahead of schedule recovery, and not like asking any other follow-up questions or, what's different about your recovery regimen that's made you so incredibly
Like what?
adept at
Steroids?
recovery?
Who cares?
Greg,
I
why are
didn't
you
say that
pointing? Why are you pointing at Amin as if you're a journalist and you're pointing at Amin in agreement as if you want to give him a hello?
Amin makes a valuable point.
Thank you.
Which is
What's the valuable point?
the valuable point is if a month and a half ago they're saying Barkov, they're not saying might be out for the season. They are saying Barkov is out for the
No,
season.
they
I don't
never
think- I
said
don't think they
that.
did.
I believe they did.
They never said definitely out for the season.
Yeah, they never said that.
This is a good way to argue. They didn't say that. I believe they did. That's like arguing with my father, where I'll go to the internet and I'll show him something, and he'll just look at it and go, I don't know about that.
Yeah, could
And
be
I
AI.
can't win the argument
Yeah,
that way.
the internet lies.
You're saying you believe something that no one else here believes or has heard. People who are watching and following the team every day, including West Coast games, even though they're getting old.
Yeah, get tired.
Listen,
man.
can I say one thing? I don't want to be the naysayer here. I hope he comes back soon. Barkov's my favorite player. March, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you allowed to have a favorite player?
I can have a player I enjoy watching. He never gets enough credit. He's the most underrated superstar in the league.
I feel like
He's
the
a
last
two-way
couple
player.
years-
I think he gets the credit now.
finally gets
yeah,
enough
I think
credit.
finally he does. But if I could add here, Greg, you may think that they announced that he's going to be out for the year. I don't believe that's true. If they actually, if they were certain he was going to be out for the year, they would have made the arrangements where they can they can replace his salary in the salary cap. And because they did not do that, they can only replace 30% of his salary. So that would tell you they're holding out hope he's going to be back. Otherwise, they would have made the arrangements to get full salary cap relief.
All I'm saying is let's not oversell and put too much stock in a video of him not wearing a knee brace at Holiday Park. It doesn't really mean much to me. Now, you guys are reading a lot into it.
What about
I
him
hope you're
telling
right.
Spoelstra that he was going to be back in 5 months? What about that?
Why would he be telling the basketball coach that he's going to be back in 5 months?
Well, he did. Whether I don't know his internal motivations.
What is my dad doing right now?
But
What
he-
is-
I'll tell you what he's doing. He's asking questions while the rest of you guys are just eating at the trough.
Yes, thank you.
You're telling me. Let me point out something that Zaz just did. Zaz said, "Hey, if he was going to be out for the year, they would have applied for the salary cap relief, right?" So you're telling me he gets injured in September, tears his ACL and his MCL. Hold on. At that moment, the Panthers are like, "I think he'll be back soon." They haven't seen any rehab. The injury just happened. It's the beginning of the year, and they said, "You know what? Let's hold out hope." What do they know that we didn't know in September? Something about a recovery that could be, quick enough to be back in the year.
Good. I hope you're right. I hope what you're insinuating is right. That's not a bad thing.
I feel like my dad doesn't know what he's agreeing with when he agrees with me.
No, he knows.
Here's
He knows. How dare you?
Good.
Here's another question. What is Tyler Hero telling Paul Maurice about when he'll be back?
Yeah.
Because if we're talking to other coaches, not even in our sport,
Exactly.
I'm curious what's happening.
Okay,
here.
but Barkov is a huge Heat fan. Matter of fact, he was at the game the other day, and he went and visited Heat training camp right after having the surgery. He loves the Heat.
This is an amazing thing, though, to watch from a longtime journalist, okay? You, who have no information, talking to Barkov, questions Eric Spoelstra, who has information from talking to Barkov. You think you're right and then question both Barkov and Spo, even though you have no information. We have video, we have Spo quoting Barkov, and we have you saying, I have no information, but I think everything I'm seeing and hearing is inaccurate.
Look, I appreciate that Dr. Spoelstra has advocated that that Barkov will be back sooner than others think. I hope he's right. I hope Barkov plays tomorrow night. I don't even know if they're scheduled tomorrow night. He's questionable. I hope he comes back as soon as possible, if not sooner. But let's just pump the old brakes and not worry about that. Let's worry about Tkachuk coming back if he has time between his podcast and attending games.
Yeah, for real. What are these guys doing? Instead of, you know why, Greg? He's got time to do all that. Modern science.
Hello.
It's Tuesday. Do you have a back in my day?
No, I don't.
I got
This is
one.
my Ed McMahon imitation, by the way.
That makes you Johnny, Dan.
Did you retire back in my day and not tell anybody? Because it's been an extraordinarily long time.
It's been a minute,
since
as
you
the
did
kids
one.
say.
It's been
It's
a
been
lot
a
of
minute.
minutes. It's been many, many minutes.
Yeah, I got one in the queue. I just haven't gotten around to writing it yet.
Dan, here's an express back in my day. Back in my day, we didn't get medical advice from NBA coaches.
There you go. I like that one.
You're welcome.
I tell you, Amina's on fire right now.
Thank you.
And fuego. Let's go.
So Udonis Haslem told Khalil Ware to rebound better, and since then Khalil Ware has rebounded better. Udonis Haslem is also going back and forth with Ben Stiller, trying to keep the embers alive from a long ago rivalry where after the Knicks beat the Heat the other night in New York, Ben Stiller said it will happen again.
Udonis told Khalil that immediately after the game, I texted Khalil Ware and said, get in the film. Mitchell Robinson, watch every offensive rebound he got on you and fix it. And Ben Stiller chimed in, oh, it'll happen again. What happened last
balls
night?
on that Ben Stiller. Better watch your mouth.
They do love Mitchell Robinson in New York. Mitchell Robinson, not as much as they loved Isaiah Hartenstein, but they do love Mitchell Robinson. They think he's key, and he is key against Cleveland. I don't know how and why, but he presents matchup problems for Cleveland that are totally confusing to me.
That's because he's someone who, going into last night, was averaging 6 offensive rebounds per game in 16 minutes per game. He's a freak as an offensive rebounder.
So then UD wasn't going to let that stand. I mean, you think he's going to let Ben Stiller talk that kind of way, just say things all willy-nilly? So then UD responded to Ben Stiller, big fan, but this clearly ain't yo lane.
Yeah, and he did that while putting up a photo. And it's the best photo to put up of Ben Stiller that's not with him with sperm in his hair and something about Mary.
Amazing.
It's him.
What a movie.
It's him
Hair gel.
and the side of his
Cameron Diaz with the...
Yeah.
stuff in her hair in that movie.
It was on
What
his ear.
version did Dan watch?
It was on his ear, and then she.
I was
grabbed-
picturing the hair up.
My bad. Yes, good correction.
You know
Thank
about that, Jizz?
Jesus.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hold on.
We got a major penalty on Jeremy. 5 minutes for being Jeremy.
Yeah.
He's got a special one of his own, huh?
It was a bad mistake by me. My bad. It is Cameron Diaz.
Dan, you know what my favorite thing is? UD had this very stern conversation with Killer Ware, so you don't let him do that to you again. And so Mitchell Robinson only grabbed 5 offensive rebounds in 18 minutes last night. That'll show them.
But how many on where?
Kellower owned him. Kellower was the best player on the floor last night.
He was awesome. I'm just saying Mitchell Robinson still grabbed the shit ton of offensive rebounds.
How many takes do you think Ben Stiller did with the famous head on chest,
That's a great
sweaty
question.
chest?
Like, there's no way that could be doctored. You had to actually do that, right?
You guys are giving credit to Ben Stiller. How about my guy? Pour out a little liquor, man, for one of the greatest
Hoffman.
actors of all time, Patrick Seymour Hoffman. Like, legitimately.
Philip.
Philip Seymour. His brother Patrick, though, he was a good actor, too. A lot of people don't talk about him. But Philip Seymour Hoffman, one of the great actors, like legit, I'm not trying to be funny here, like a thespian, right?
The tour de force performance.
Absolutely.
In that movie.
And he starred in this stupid-ass movie and killed it.
It was a great movie, but if you were taking, so that's Along Came Polly. I mean, Ben Stiller's resume on funny movies. He directed Tropic Thunder. I think that was the first time he ever directed. But that resume on funny movies
Pump your brakes. Cable guy want to have something to say.
is an all-timer. I mean, but if you had the scene that you were putting up to make fun of Ben Stiller, okay, the one that Udonis chose would be my third choice.
Really?
I think. Yes, I think that would be my third choice. Now that's basketball related, but I think I'd go with 2 others. I would go Hanging from the Air, and I would go Getting Your Junk Caught in the Zipper as well.
Oh,
I
and he had the
think
brains coming out of the
The
zipper.
ball sack, yeah.
Irrelevant, though. This is basketball relevant. That's why he went with it. Come on, Dan.
I'm
You
just-
got to get your internet troll game up.
I'm just talking about favorite scenes from Ben Stiller if I'm trying to simply mock Ben Stiller. If I'm going, because Ben Stiller, in terms of famous Knicks fans, the loudest among them is Spike Lee, but I think of Ben Stiller as second. I think second place in terms of famous Knicks fans is Ben Stiller. Do you have a nominee better than Ben Stiller?
I would say Ben Stiller is internet loud, specifically on Twitter. He tweets a lot.
Well, and especially over the last couple years.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a front runner, Ben
Front
Stiller.
runner,
I didn't hear
yes.
from him 10 years ago. Like I would have Tracy Morgan behind Spike Lee.
No love for Chalamet. Chalamet was out there.
Nah, he's a little bit of a
Also
Johnny
Johnny,
come lately
yep.
too.
He's like 12 years old.
Tracy Morgan cares so much about the Knicks that he was willing to be sick and puke on the court during a game last year. I mean,
Sick.
Willing to?
Willing
He was
to-
willing to do that.
yeah, but he's like, I don't feel good, but I don't want to miss a game.
I think he was already at the game, and then he started to not feel good, perhaps for some of the libations that are happening behind the
He
scenes.
tried to gut it out though.
Wait a minute.
be
You
fake
can't
vomit.
hold on a minute. What do you mean libations behind the scenes? We don't know that it's libations. Like,
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation. You're good.
He was drunk.
Fair.
I mean, give me your expert analysis on what Khalil Ware is going to become, because this is not his ceiling. Last night at the end of the game, Karl Anthony Towns was having trouble getting his shot off at the end of the game. He doesn't have trouble usually getting his shot off. Now, I do think the Heat's Achilles heel on offense is going to be what you saw happen at the end of that game, where they're up 10, and then the last 3 minutes of the game, they score 3 points.
You don't think Hero's going to help there?
He will help, but I think they're going to have a problem with late game scoring, because when Hero was in the game and healthy, they had problems with late game scoring, because late games are different in the NBA than the rest of the game. Last night, 3.5 minutes left in the game. They were up by 10 or 12. They scored 3 points the rest of the way, but Khalil Ware made it problematic for Karl Anthony Towns, a really uncommon 7-footer, right? Wins the three-point contest. He gets his shot off, and he just missed the shot at the end a little further from the basket than he wants to be. But Ware also blocked his shot when he was closer. So I ask for your expertise here. what is the growth of this is going to be? Because the Heat have been pushing him pretty hard, privately and publicly, on grow the hell up. Like, we don't have time for childishness or immaturity or work ethic.
That's amazing,
that's
though. He's only
sloppy.
in his second year.
Well, he's very young. He is a player that is not yet at the top of what his growth will be. So I ask you, what's he going to be?
Well, Zaz, as Zaz asked that question, my thought is I think there's a little bit of the ghost of Hassan past that makes the Miami Heat say, we're not doing this again. We're going to be on your ass from day one.
So that's simply because he's tall?
Well, no, there's a level of kind of space cadet of not always locked in. Like the idea, first of all, the idea that he closed the game last night, 6 months ago, that would have been unthinkable.
Played over 30 minutes last night. Like, that usually doesn't
The
happen.
number of minutes is cool, but the idea that Spo said this is a one-possession game, I'm going to have him on the floor.
And made the play.
And then he backs it up and makes a play is incredible. But just simply the trust that he can be out there and will not have a mental lapse and will not mess up. Now, here's the hard part for a young kid like that. Last night was probably the best game of his career. Okay, now tomorrow you got to go do it again. Yeah. And do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And that ultimately, Dan, when you ask me how good can he be, it starts with, can he be consistent? He doesn't have to be that great.
But athletically, there's no reason for him to not be among the most athletic people on the court every single time he's on the court.
He has, oh man, I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound scary. Everyone brace yourselves. He has all the physical tools.
That's what I'm talking about.
To be a Wembanyama stopper.
Whoa.
That's what I'm talking about.
What?
The physical tools.
What?
The physical tools.
Okay, you say this. Someone who doesn't have the physical tools to be a Wembanyama stopper is one of the greatest, most versatile defenders we've ever seen, Draymond Green. I want to show you guys a ridiculous video of Draymond Green, who is, between 6'7" and 6'9". He is undersized.
He's between 6'6" and 6'7". 6'9".
He is.
He you know what he'd tell you? If he was if you made me 6'9", I'll be MVP of the league. That's what he'd say.
Okay, so he is undersized, but I've never seen him look like a toddler when trying to guard someone in the low post. You can make the argument that this is the most versatile defender and one of the best defenders we've ever seen. I want you to look at this video of him trying to keep Wembanyama out, and I'm not kidding you when I say in this, he looks like a toddler. Yeah. Draymond Green, one of the great defenders in NBA history, looks like a toddler against Wembanyama, and then Wembanyama just dunks on him because Draymond Green
stares him down.
Draymond Green, he's not staring him down. He's staring at a spot under Wembanyama's nipples because there is no such thing as physical tools that can stop Wembanyama.
Well, not when you're 6'7", right? Like that could be problematic. And Draymond, what he's done there is literally the extent of the human capability given the physical tools given. He's being physical, he's pushing, he's also talking. I don't know if we have that sound of him saying the shit talk that was happening between him and Wembanyama during the game. But it's like he's doing all of these things to try and take away, but you can't take it all away. So the spin lob is there because he doesn't want him to get the clean catch right there because if he turns and fires, Draymond has no chance. This is the part, if I could take Draymond's brain and put it into Kelly Ware's body, now we're talking.
Let's look at this again so you guys can see.
It's a low off. First, Draymond goes in, gets underneath them, and is like, I got position on him.
Yeah.
That does not last very long.
They tried to guard the Karl Anthony Towns this way last night because you take smaller guys and you just throw him at the waist of the taller guy. But the size difference...
They're the same height when he's got his hands on his knees.
This is like Wembanyama. It looks like him playing against sixth graders because Wembanyama is he's a foot taller than one of the great defenders ever. But when you say he's got to put it together night after night, you are right, of course. But there's nothing keeping him from putting it together night after night except him. Like when you talk about physical tools, I'm asking you, what's the ceiling on this person? Give me a comp for what the ceiling is on a person this young who is going to continue to grow because this is not his prime. It is not. He is going to get better as a basketball player, and he's already somebody. I don't want him taking too many corner threes, but he can take corner threes.
What's the ceiling? Wemby.
Okay, no, we're not going to do that.
Oh,
Hold
come on.
Come on, hold on.
Come on,
Slow down.
man.
Slow down.
Come on.
What kind of discussion is that? I say come on, you say come on. You say something
come on.
ridiculous,
Come
I say
on.
come on, and then you say come on.
Come on.
Doing a thing.
Don't come on me.
Come on.
The ceiling, Dan, I don't know because I'm trying to figure out who is a comp. And I think Rudy Gobert, but like he can shoot way better than Rudy Gobert ever could in his career. So that shooting
And runs
changes.
the floor better.
Rudy's a pretty good athlete too.
I'm not questioning Rudy Gobert's athleticism. The way Ware runs the floor on the fast break is, to me, still an unusual thing at his size, where he is running the floor with the same speed everyone else is running the floor.
Yeah.
The way Ware dribbled up the floor in the front court and then dunked it past two guys like Rudy Gobert can't even dream of.
So then I think about JaVale McGee. Is he like a better JaVale McGee? Because JaVale McGee was very skilled, but again, was plagued by a lot of the things that we talked about as far as can you be locked in every single night?
Why can't he just be this guy that we saw last night? That guy's really good. Why can't he be that?
Because it takes a level of mental preparation and concentration to stay locked in. It's also, you know how this game goes, things are changing all the time. You can't be like, okay, I got it now, because you know what those guys are doing. They're watching film too, and they're going to start adapting. So it involves like a diligent, again, intellectual approach. It's not just let me get in the weight room and I'm good. It's like, yo, you've got to learn this game, and does he have the appetite to continue to learn it?
But I think that was where last night. I think that was Ware's fourth straight double-double. Isn't that a sign of consistency? A hint of it? At least an encouraging sign.
Yes, Greg, but then I invoke the name of the spirit Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, but that's not right because Whiteside was like 27 or 29 when the Heat got him. This is rookie development at 20 years old. And when you say JaVale McGee, now I know JaVale McGee is a majestic athletic talent, but when I think of JaVale McGee, I just...
is him messing up, running back off court even though they have the ball, and the way John Wall turns back and looks at him and has this kind of, oh, Jesus Christ, this look about him. Now, Dan, JaVale McGee is first of all, he's a two-time champ.
His highlights
Let's
are
start there.
amazing.
3-time champ.
3 times? Twice with the Warriors?
17, 18, and 20.
Twice with the Warriors and once with the Lakers. So a 3-time NBA champ. So put some respect on his name. But also, Dan, that's an example of like when it's not harnessed, right? You're right. Hassan Whiteside was further along as a reclamation project, but I think he was productive in a way where the Heat were like, well, we're getting what we need out of him. And then ultimately down the line, they realized they created a monster by not being stricter.
I
more,
went to you for genuine expertise and enthusiasm. I'm not saying you didn't give us expertise, but you did not give us enthusiasm. When you compare his ceiling to JaVale McGee, you have insulted ceilings.
Again,
The ceiling's like, come on.
I think if I ask Kel'el Ware, would you like to be a 3-time champion and be like a pivotal part of that? That's a pretty good ceiling,
A
right?
pivotal part of that was 12 minutes a game. Come on. He was not a pivotal part of their championship.
Lob threat, man. You needed a lob threat in that Warriors offense.
I'm not disputing that he gave them contributions, that he was a contributor to those championships. I am disputing that he was a pivotal thing that would have resulted in championships not being won if he hadn't been the one at the rim.
I gave you Rudy Gobert with a jump shot. You didn't like that one either.
Oh, you do it. What's Ware's ceiling?
Well, the reason that I'm hesitant to do it is because I don't believe that what it is that I have watched over the history of time in basketball allows me to accurately assess people this size when Karl Anthony Towns is a human being that I've never seen play basketball before. Someone who shoots that well at that size, but isn't in the post what I would like him to be. So the reason I'm going to Amin is because his library of remembering how it is that people develop from when they're 20 is better than my library on how they develop. And so Rudy Gobert as a comp doesn't work for me just because he's a better offensive player than Rudy Gobert, and I doubt very much that he'll ever be the defensive player that Rudy Gobert is, and I don't mean that as a slight in any way on Ware either. I'm looking for somebody because Ware frustrates me with his lack of touch around the basket. He frustrates me with his with his low post game, but I don't think it's going to stay that way. Like I believe that with a great many reps, he's not going to be that kind of awkward. And I don't know how to do the assessment because of how young he is. What happens when he's in this particular cauldron? Like I've seen this team do something with Ike Austin, like in terms of being able.
Ike Austin driving around right now, like, hey, they talking about me on Le Batard Show. Wait a second, damn man, I thought we was cool, Dan.
I don't mean that as an insult to Ike Austin. Like Ike Austin wasn't very much when
Even Ike Austin's like, yeah, they did a lot with me.
When he got here, he wasn't any kind of special.
He was overweight.
He was out of the league.
He was an underachieving, overweight big man, and he came here and he became a rotation NBA player. It's a story that I tell every time when we talk about the Heat. It's like they have decades of proof that we get guys, we get diamonds in the rough, we polish them up. Why would you ever pay retail for your diamonds then? You do this all the time for Sean Leonard, Ike Austin, Eric Murdoch, like all these names, John Crotty, like these guys were just around.
Yes, Mashburn.
Jamal Mashburn, Clarence Weatherspoon.
This season is a really interesting case study for the Heat, and so is this player individually, because everything that we're talking about with the Heat getting guys to overachieve, it's either guys who had attitude problems, right, in their previous stops, whether that was Hardaway, whether that was Mourning, whether that was Jimmy Butler, getting them to overachieve. Then looking at the undrafted players that they've done this with, taking guys that, hadn't reached their ceiling. Now you have, whether it's Khalil Ware, even Davion Mitchell, who was a lottery pick, who has yet to find his footing. You're taking guys with higher ceilings, talented players, and seeing if you can unlock the best of them. For that matter, 10 years into his career, Andrew Wiggins is having a career season. So it's interesting to see the way that they'll be able to do it, and Khalil Ware is the perfect case study of that Heat cauldron that you speak of.
Let me correct your young ass. Tim Hardaway wasn't an attitude issue. It was we thought his knees were done. Like he was bone on bone.
And Golden State also benched him for Sprewell.
That's right.
But because his knees were bone on bone. Like it was a physical thing. People thought his career was over. And then Alonzo Mourning, let me tell you something. You think that was an attitude problem? That was an attitude problem that 29 teams would have won, or I guess it was 27 back then, but 27 teams were lining up for. Alonzo Mourning was not at all looked at as a toxic thing.
Okay.
That was very
I'm just
passive.
saying.
I said
What was
okay.
that?
You're
Well,
just-
no.
Okay,
That
correct me.
okay
That-
was loaded.
okay.
David
That
Sampson
okay
right
was
there.
loaded
I'm
in
not
some
comfortable.
stuff. I'm with Zaz. It felt like
That
it had
was-
an undertone of racism.
One of the
in it.
most-
Yes.
What?
Yes.
This is a hostile workplace.
I didn't see it at first, but I'm starting to see it now.
I didn't like that.
Where's HR?
He spent Sunday cheering for Harrison Butker, and I'm not happy with what's happening with
Rambling
Shocking
back from Georgia
selling.
Tech.
started
Oops,
gambling.
hold on, I was on the wrong side of that.
What a loaded, okay.
There was a lot of poison in that okay, Jeremy. There was a lot of bass in that okay. Tim Hardaway came here as he was viewed as a problem child. It wasn't just knees. It wasn't just knees.
he wasn't
Okay.
a problem
Long-term
child,
Heat expert Dan Le Batard telling you the truth.
He was available cheap. It was also knees, but it wasn't just knees.
It was available cheap because people thought his career was over. Also, you want to trust a guy who thought Ben Stiller had the jism in his hair?
Cheap. They gave up Kevin Willis and Bimbo Coles.
Hey, man, Kevin Willis.
Got to give something to get something.
Hold on, man. Kevin Willis, one of the longest NBA careers in NBA history.
He had T-Rex arms.
He did, but he was in great shape. Those arms were buff, dude.
Refused to pass.
He wore
Too
nothing but Eddie Murphy suits too. Like all of his suits were leather.
He has like a clothing line.
But he looked so good in those suits because he was so buff. But you're right, he had T-Rex arms. They were short arms. He was a 7-footer, right? Or
was.
But he did not play like a 7-footer.
He was athletic. He had some moves. He was a good player, but lacking the last. Having short arms kind of is like a hazard in the workplace in this sport.
Greg Cody's having a bad arm day again, I think.
Well, I was just curious, when did the alligator arm become the T-Rex arm? Because it was always the alligator arm for short.
It's either one.
1993.
I think alligator
1983.
arms. I don't think alligator arms are short arms. I think alligator arms are scared arms. Arms that you retract when you're going over the middle. T-Rex arms are just your hands are attached to your nipples. Like
You
don't-
think
right.
you think an alligator's arms are scared?
Yeah, that sounds.
Have you ever
I
fought
thought
an
they had-
alligator?
I thought they had the same meaning, but Jeremy says you're right, Dan.
alligator arms are scared arms.
Look at
They're-
me. I'm Kevin
they're-
Willis.
they're-
I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't never seen no alligator that was scared. You seen one, Greg?
No, hell no.
Oh, man.
They are also
warriors.
short arms, but they're arms that get short when you're scared going over. I mean, Ricky Waters has the famous quote when he played for the champion 49ers. He's going over the middle and he alligator armed something and he looked around and he's like, for who? For what?
11 in front of the hour. Returning on Mad Dog Unleashed.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
This just in, Hurricanes football coach Mario Cristobal is now reporting that Alexander Barkov may be back as early as late February. That's big.
Big news.
Yes.
From a reputable source.
It is. Wow. Got a lot on his plate. Trying to get in the college football playoff, but yet he's talking to Barkey? Good for him. Go, Mario. You go, boy.
Diana Rossini is going to join us here in a moment. Just a couple of cleanups here from what we were talking about involving the Panthers and the Heat. So 16 players, a record for the Panthers, had at least 1 point in the win last night. They scored 5 goals in an 11-minute span after going down 2-0 at the end of the first period to the beginning of the second period. So that's 5 goals in 11 minutes. And also, that Khalil Ware experience last night, I don't think is recreatable because they've lost the offensive rebound battle in 8 straight games. And with Bam in the lineup, they're the best defensive rebounding percentage in the league. Without Bam in the lineup, they are the second worst in the league. I don't think that's a matter of effort and will. I think that Bam has a skill set that is unusual. I don't think that is taught. I believe you can either offensive rebound the way Mitchell Robinson and Andre Drummond do, or you can't. And I do believe there is a lot of effort involved with that, but I don't think that Ware's problem there is an effort problem, and I'm not sure how much of that is learned.
So typically we think of offensive rebounding as one sort of skill, which is a hunter's skill. You go out there, you run, you're getting through those lanes. Defensive rebounding is more positional based. It's more IQ. It's more also communal. So I'm boxing out sometimes not so I can get the rebound, but so my teammate can get the rebound. So if you are a guy, typically you'll find guys who are good offensive rebounders and poor defensive rebounders are the ones who are really athletic, long arms, and like hunting the ball, but aren't so good at the positional stuff.
You want to hear Spo detail what Sasha Barkov told him in the training camp? Video confirmation, yes?
Sure.
All right, Greg, give it a look. Come on.
I see those kind of possibilities with Bam. But everybody else, it's inspiring to see that. And it is heartbreaking, to see him in crutches. But then you talk to him, and you say, oh, no worries. I'll be back in 5-6 months. And, I love that spirit. I'm sure their medical staff will be
7 to 9.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I love that guy. I love everything he's about.
What have you seen?
That backs up what I was
No, it
saying.
does.
Yes,
in
it
that
does.
clip,
Yes.
you hear them say the team said 7 to 9. They never said out for the year, like you said they said.
Okay, first of all, there's never been an athlete born who didn't think he was going to be back from injury quicker than maybe his team doctors did.
I don't know about that.
I think that's common. I think that's the fighter spirit. That's what you want from your athlete. But Spo, at the end of that, also said, well, I don't know what his medical team might think about that. In other words, yeah, he could be just being optimistic just to be optimistic, of course.
The doctors would like a word is basically
Thank
what
you.
Spo is saying, what Greg is saying, what I'm backing up. Because 7 to 9, by the way, that lands you in April. Right? October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That's 7 months, right?
That's when the playoffs start.
So if he's back,
It's going to be awesome when he comes back in February.
well, you know what? According to Mario Cristobal, but if he does come back prior to 7 months, I'm just saying maybe you guys ask some questions as opposed to saying, "Oh, this is so amazing."
In Greg's defense, Greg never said what Spo said that Barkov said. Greg said that the Panthers said that it was going to be 7 to 9 months. So it doesn't matter what Spo said that Barkov said. It's what Greg
Yeah.
said.
We got a
Well
major
put,
penalty on
Jeremy.
Jeremy. 5 minutes for being Jeremy.
Yeah, you're having a rough day.
Well put, Jeremy.
Senior NFL insider for The Athletic and the host of the Scoop City podcast. He's working so hard day and night, like literally day and night. He's on the Heat broadcast talking to Ron Rothstein. He comes in here in the morning. It's unfair what we do to him, but he can't stop being Jeremy. Diana Rossini, as I mentioned, insider for The Athletic and host of the Scoop City podcast. Always lovely to see her. Her kids, less so. So explain to me what it is that's happening here, Diana, where we are in the process of getting you a Santa that you can use in a threatening manner on your kids. But what's happening here with your kids that you put on Twitter? Let's see this sound of kids wailing, please.
Joey, off the oven. What do you want? What are you looking for? I don't know where your Allosaurus is. What are you looking for?
Lollipop.
No lollipops.
This is chaos.
That was
They're
great.
just monsters, demons.
Wow.
Could not write it up better than that. That was just art.
Let me just see all of that again because I don't. What is the Asaurus? I want
two kids there, by the way, if
thank
you're
you.
listening.
There are two kids. One of them's playing with the oven, which is not something you ever want.
I think one of them was asking for Jose Suarez.
Joey, off the oven. What do you want? What are you looking for? I don't know where your Allosaurus is. What are you looking for? No lollipops.
And the kids are in pajamas, so it's clearly either breakfast time or dinner time. Not a time for lollipops.
Just before we get into the meat of this, though, just please, one more time at the beginning, I just want you guys to see this, what devil monster does this with the oven. The oven has to be secured from the inside because look at Joey just pulling like a total maniac demon on the oven for no good reason because he just wants to break the oven. Like, what's in the oven?
Joey, off the oven. What do you want? What are you looking for? I don't know where your Allosaurus is. What are you looking for? No lollipops.
Everyone knows the lollipops are in the oven, Dan.
What's happening there, Diana? Please explain.
Every parent is sweating right now. Every parent has been there. So that day I was on the show with you guys and you know, I was trying to explain to you the witching hour, and the guys on the show that had kids all like everyone had the same look, which is like, if you're a parent, you know what witching hour is. And it's between the hours of usually 4 and 7:30. And they just turn into these monsters. Like just the fact that just look at Mikey's asking for a Calosaurus and an Allosaurus, which I don't even know what they are. He can name all the dinosaurs. And then Joey's like, well, I don't really know what I want, but I'm just gonna go for it. I want a lollipop, you know? There is something there that I feel like I have to defend Joey. So you're right, like he was pulling on the oven there. And if you notice, the oven is locked, right? Like as you noticed, we don't use that oven, so there are lollipops in that oven. So that's why he was asking for it, because he knows they're in there.
Wow.
But it's tinted, so he can't see. But he's seen me put the snacks in there to just hide from them. So look, every parent's been through it. I am certainly one of a million gazillion people, but that was my way of I tweeted it just at you so you could see, like, this is what I'm talking about. You can't explain it. They're just out of their minds. And I got to tell you, I had so many people reaching out after that video of just like, dude, I know. It's okay.
Wait a minute, Diana. You're using your oven as storage?
Yeah, isn't that where everyone keeps the kid treats?
Yeah, I am. Because we have two. We have one on the top and one on the bottom, and the one on the top we use. The one on the bottom we never do. So we just use it as like a little candy stash spot, so they can't get to it, because otherwise they find ways to get to the candy.
Why wouldn't you stash it in the one on the top and use the one on the bottom?
Oh, that does make sense. Now look, we've had this problem before where. Because the thing you should be asking is, what if somebody turns that oven on? Like, we got a problem. So my dad likes to take care of the birds in our backyard for us because we don't pay attention to anything. And he's like, you guys have this beautiful birdhouse. Like, I'll come over during the week and feed the birds. Like, he's retired. He's got nothing to do, obviously. So he thought it would be smart to take this, by the way, this was a gigantic issue in our family. And I want your thoughts on what you think. He took the birdseed, the bag of birdseed, that big plastic bag you get at Home Depot, feeds the birds, then takes it and puts it in the grill because he didn't want the deer or other animals to eat it. My husband comes home from work, always does the same thing, runs outside, turns the grill on to warm it up, to get dinner ready, and runs back in the house.
Wow. So you're eating birdseed for dinner.
So you got fried birdseed as
what do you?
sets
No.
fire to it?
It pops like popcorn, right?
A beautiful grill that was destroyed because it caught fire and it burned through everything. And it was a whole thing. So my father's perspective was not like the normal person, which is, Kevin, I'm sorry. Like, that was a dumb move. Who puts birdseed in a grill? He was like, what idiot doesn't open the grill to check before you turn it on? So we have had this like 6-month debate in our family of who was in the right here. And I would love your thoughts. Do you think Kevin was in the wrong for just running out there and turning the grill on and not looking? Because why would there be birdseed in there?
Diana, do we have the same dad? That's
Possibly.
my takeaway, because that's exactly the type of thing my dad would do.
Yeah.
Like, what? And the thing is, he made Kevin feel terrible about it. Like, and Kevin questioned himself. He's like, is it actually unsafe that I didn't open it? I'm like, you probably should check. But it's just you using the grill every night. Like, I get why you didn't look. Because, again, who puts birdseed in a grill?
Diana, do you have a garage?
I do.
So why is the birdseed not in the garage?
Great question. Say that to Ricky Rossini.
Don't say that to my dad.
Does things all the time that make no sense. And then he's just like, well, that's your fault. Yeah, he needs a job.
I don't think, though. I think that was actually smart of your father, but he needs to tell somebody that he did that. Like, he doesn't, there's another step there. You do want to keep it away from the deer. You don't want birdseed just around, so now you've got an animal problem.
Yeah, well, the deer and my son's out there anyways, eating the bird. Maybe that bird seed's for the boys, actually. But if you think about it, now that you're refreshing my memory of the issue that we had with this, it is stupid for me to keep the lollipop bag in the bottom oven because we just experienced what it's like to do that.
Mm-hmm. Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Do you know anyone who puts the lollipops in the oven? And also put on the poll, have you ever used your oven for storage?
Yeah, the other thing I would mention, just parenthetically, deer know how to open a gas grill. Like, deer will smell what's in there and then use their long snout to open the lid like that. I've seen it happen.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
When did you, Craig? Stop.
No, deer. They're not ambidextrous or anything, but a deer. Picture the long deer
They're just
snout.
righties.
It gets under the thing.
What is he doing?
Let's talk it out.
This is a bib.
The hood of a grill is kind of heavy.
Let's hear him out.
Oh, dear.
Thank you. Thank you. That was excellent. Oh, that was perfect. The timing.
Give me a bigger story this weekend, Diana, than the Chiefs losing.
The Philadelphia Eagles beating the Detroit Lions, despite the fact that they seem to just produce during dysfunction. Like, there's so many stories about what's going on there, and they don't care. Their defense stepped up, and I would argue that what they're doing right now, they could win the Super Bowl. Despite the fact that the offense is still not even that good, if the defense is able to play the way they did against the Lions, who I think we can all agree a very good NFC team, I think we're going to see the Eagles in the Super Bowl again.
Oh, but not without Lane Johnson. They're 12-23 when he doesn't start. And you told us last week he's their most important player.
They'll get to he'll probably miss the regular season, but they'll get to the playoffs. If you look at around all the NFC teams, Philly to me is the least one I'm concerned about where they play. Like they travel well, they're fine. Whereas obviously the Lions, Jared Goff needs to play indoors, right? He's better indoors because what we saw on Sunday night, I think we saw a lot of weaknesses there. So they're going to try to get, the first seed there. But I think for Philly, they'll be all right. But you're right. Like, yeah, they need Lane Johnson. They need a healthy offensive line. They need a better run game. That entire offense needs to improve. And I reported recently that there's definitely players on the offensive side of the ball that are really frustrated with the way this offense looks. And this is not just A.J. Brown, right? A.J. Brown's been the most vocal. But I think this entire team wants to see this offense be a little bit more dynamic than it's been.
Can you explain to us the Bills of the last month? Like how and why does all of that happen? And if the Bills don't win that conference this year, when are they going to win that conference?
Yeah, I don't know. But if they're able to do what they just did, they're going to be okay, which obviously, what do we always say about Buffalo? It's on the shoulders of Josh Allen. And I think we've all kind of been annoyed by it, or at least run out of patience with it, because it can't always be on his shoulders. Because look, they're not in the Super Bowl. But we're back to the same point we're at every year with the Bills, which is Josh Allen is doing incredible things. He's making it work. The defense is playing fine. And he still doesn't have a lot of help. I mean, the fact that they were able to beat the Bucs, to me, tells me that they're way more dangerous than I think that we were expecting them to be this season, because I thought this was going to be a down year for the Bills.
But how do you explain the specifics of what I just asked you, which is they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Then they lose to the Dolphins, can't get much of anything going offensively, and then they go back home and they beat Tampa, and they beat Tampa in a way that the quarterback has a performance that you've never seen before from a quarterback. And is that just home and road? Like, what is that?
I think it's just home and road. We know that they're great at home. Like that's for sure. I can tell you from talking to people in that building that morning, they were nervous about that game, Buffalo. Right? Because I think they think of themselves the way you just described, which is pretty up and down, right? They haven't been able to just grab hold of this thing and stand out consistently this season. But I think I kind of think that this has been the theme of this year, right? Where usually this time this year, what are we saying to each other? All right, Patrick's going to probably be in the Super Bowl again. Jalen probably, we'll throw one or two that could possibly be in there. And Josh Allen's usually in there too with the Bills. This year, we could argue any 12 teams, 10 teams could be in there, right? The Colts are making a case. The Rams are making a case. The Seahawks still are going to be very good despite the fact that they lost to the Rams. There's still a lot of the unknown of who's truly incredible. The New England Patriots, could they be the ones playing in the Super Bowl? Like right now, I think the New England Patriots are a better team than the Buffalo Bills. We'll see if that changes, because they've got some losses on defense right now in New England. But I just don't think it's as clear as it usually is this time of year.
Diana, did Belichick have any shot at that Giants job?
No. It's so interesting because I was talking to people in New York on Friday, and I was going to report on Saturday that, the Giants have so much respect for the Giants have so much respect for Bill Belichick, but they really have never considered him in the past. And they're not going to consider him in the future. That is just not something that they want to do moving forward. And then Bill out of nowhere puts out that statement like, yeah, I have no interest in the Giants. I don't know who was saying it at that point. I don't know if that was Jordan reading social or what, but the Giants have no interest in Bill Belichick. And I don't know of an NFL team that has Bill Belichick on their list as a potential candidate for an NFL job.
When you look at the surprise teams in the league, like the Panthers and the Jaguars, what's the borderline playoff team that you're sold on, that you think might actually be in the playoffs and win a playoff game?
Yeah, that can actually not turn into a pumpkin?
Yes.
I'm going to eat this one. It's the Texans.
Really?
Right?
Wow.
I think they're finding themselves at the right time. It seemed like there was way too much change initially, right? You had a new play caller, you had new players on the offensive line, all the excuses in the world. And I hate to say it, but they needed a little time to figure out what they want to be. And they're figuring that out. Now, that being said, it is interesting right now that this is Davis Mills, right? The backup quarterback who's helping this offense look better, who's helping them look good. So I am look, they're going to when CJ
Their
Stroud
defense is great. Their defense is great.
Isn't that the theme of this season right now, right? Look at Denver. Denver's not winning that game if their defense isn't what it is against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Philadelphia Eagles aren't beating the Lions without their defense. So if you can rely on that, the Steelers have been victims to that. If your defense can help and carry you can win some of these games. This is what Minnesota was hoping for as well. Right? Like they thought, all right, we got this young quarterback who needs a little time, but we'll keep it simple. We've got a great defense. We'll get by. 5 games in, and it's not 5 games in with JJ, and it's not good.
Diana.
Yes.
On August 27th, I outlined the Shador plan. I said, look, here's what's going to happen. Flacco's going to start. He's going to be terrible. He's going to get out of there. Then they're going to give it to Dylan Gabriel. He's going to stink. And then Shador's going to get it because people are going to be clamoring for him to save the day. Now, here's what happened. In the first half of that game, they were actually chanting, we want Shador, because Dylan Gabriel was playing so poorly. But then he got concussed, and actually Shador gets in the game. I felt it was premature. Had Dylan Gabriel not got concussed, how much longer do you think it would have taken for the Browns to turn to Shador Sanders?
Long. All season. I don't know if they were trying to get him in there. We've talked about this on the show a lot, about how they feel about his ability to play the position. They've been preaching patience. He needs more time. He needs to learn how to play quarterback in the NFL. He's not there yet. And you're certainly not getting the reps that you should be getting in order for that to happen, right? Because that's the only way you can get better. Now, I don't know if Shador is doing what I've seen a lot of backup quarterbacks do, which is so practice ends, you take the script and you run through it again with another backup quarterback or somebody to help you out. But that's still not the same. And I think Kevin Stefanski proved his point, right? Did anyone watch that and go, they've been holding him back? No, you watched it and you went, okay, there's some talent there for sure, but he's going to need more coaching. He's going to need more reps in order for him to go out there and start, and that's okay. So I don't think the Browns' plan here is to stick with Shador Sanders for the rest of the year.
Roy, get ready to speed her up. But one of the more impressive.
I'm talking so fast today too.
It's not because of you. It's not because of you.
I think you're doing well.
It's not.
Excellent.
It's not a criticism of you. We're just going to speed you up at the end of the segment, like we do to get a maximized information during your limited time with us here. But one of the most impressive quarterbacking things I've seen, when we always give the quarterback credit for winning, is Tom Brady on the road going in the playoffs on the Tampa Bay Bucks through Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes. But I'm going to give you a partial list on what it is Jalen Hurts, or who it is Jalen Hurts has beaten the last 2 years. You ready for this? Because we always give the quarterbacks credit for winning, correct? It's Joe Burrow, it's Lamar Jackson, it's Dak Prescott, it's Baker Mayfield, it's Jared Goff, it's Jaden Daniels twice, it's Jordan Love 3 times, it's Matthew Stafford 3 times, it's Patrick Mahomes twice. That's crazy, Diana.
Yeah, this is why you can't count them out. This is why the Jalen narrative is a little peculiar and also difficult to argue, because they're winning, they're beating good teams, but you have so many star players. You know what the Philadelphia Eagles are? They're the example of during free agency or even the draft when we always say, they've got too many stars. How are they going to share the ball? This is what happens, right? Not everybody's happy, but you are happy when you're, spraying champagne all over each other in the locker room in San Francisco.
Chiefs after this week.
No.
It's not even possible.
Oh, they're on a bye after next week. Damn it.
No, but if you guys remember last week, I said that the Dolphins have a chance to win the Super Bowl. What if I turn out to be right? What if they make a deep playoff?
You're not gonna.
What happened?
You're not right. You're not going to be right.
Could be.
Have some hope,
no,
man.
it can't.
You
No, it
are
can't. It can't.
negative.
It can't
He
be.
really is.
I'm a
Naysayer.
believer.
Will Daniel Jones outduel Patrick Mahomes and the Colts beat the Chiefs?
No, I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, guys, this may be, you may not agree. I actually think this Chiefs team right now is slightly better than the Chiefs team we saw last year. And they played in the playoffs. Like, they've got a good run game. They've got good receivers. They just don't have luck on their side right now, right? If you saw last year, they were winning those one-score games. They're 0 for 5 in one-score games this year. So I just think they need things to just fall their way a little bit. So in relation to the Colts, I think Patrick Mahomes, an angry Patrick Mahomes who says after the game it's all his fault, that's not going to happen again.
Is it time to call out Justin Herbert as looking like a career underachiever?
Whoa.
No.
What's he won? What's he won?
His offensive line is essentially Joey and Mikey right now. He doesn't. He's not being protected, And look what this team was when everyone was healthy. We were talking about Justin Herbert finally living up to the hype. So no, I don't think he's going to be a bust. I think if anything, they're going to continue to be really good as they keep growing and building that program.
Diana, has Justin Fields worn out his NFL welcome?
Yeah. And you say wore out your welcome. really, I think what you're asking is Justin Fields ever going to be a starter in the league again? No. You very rarely get this many chances, right? This is his third stop. We saw him in Pittsburgh a little bit. Look, he's a good person. He's a great teammate from everything I know. Unfortunately, we saw what the New York Jets did, and then they decided Tyrod Taylor is going to take over moving forward. This is a team that's got a gazillion picks over the next 2 years. They're going to be in the quarterback market, and unfortunately, Woody Johnson just spent a lot of money on both Aaron Rodgers and another $40 million on Justin Fields, who probably won't be a New York Jet.
How do you feel about the death of the U.S. penny?
What happened to it?
They're not making it anymore.
They're just tired? Like
Penny's dead.
Like they're just like, we don't care about you anymore?
Yep. Costs too much to produce. Pennies still in rotation will be fair trade. You can still use the pennies you have, but they're no longer making new pennies. Big story.
Wow. So we're going to have to just recycle the same one. So now, actually, I'd argue the value of the penny is worth a lot more. Because now if I see one,
yep,
I'm going to make sure that I keep them.
Right.
Okay. I don't really like that excuse. It's too expensive to make. There's a little irony in there, no?
Yeah, supposedly it costs like 3.7 cents to make a penny.
So find 4 pennies and you'll be good.
All right, very good. Darnold, Diana, what did Sam Darnold's performance mean on Sunday?
That I think we still are questioning whether or not he can handle the pressure, right? They won 14 games with him last year and he turned into a pumpkin in the end there. I think this was a good test for him, and we were all hoping that maybe, just maybe, it's not necessarily about it's not the throws that Sam Darnold makes, it's the ones he doesn't in these situations. I think that makes you wonder. And I think that's what we saw against the Rams. And that defense figured him out. They knew how to put him in these positions. So I think he's just got to keep proving that he can get over that hump.
Diana, how many years away are we from an NFL game in Jerusalem?
20.
Wow.
Diana, how much
Very
would you
specific.
guess the average human's skin weighs?
8 pounds.
Double that, actually.
Undershot.
20
pounds. She's the NFL insider for The Athletic. She's the host of the Scoop City podcast. Diana, thank you for being on with us. We appreciate it. As always, we will talk to you next week.
So if I want to lose weight, just skin myself?
Pretty much.
That is correct.
Don't do that.
If you want to lose 18 to 20 pounds, that is correct.
Yeah, who needs Ozempic?
You can also just remove your small intestine. I have in front of me a list that annually Greg Cody gets very excited and honored that he gets sent to his house by old-fashioned mail so that he can mail in a ballot, old-fashioned style. It's not even something you do on the internet, right? I think the Hall of Fame, you probably can do it on the internet, but I'm guessing that you, as a 71-year-old man, still lick a stamp and send in your Baseball Hall of Fame ballot.
Yeah, it's not from the Hall of Fame. It's from the Baseball Writers Association of America, which does the voting. And it is literally a self-addressed stamped envelope that you get in the mail.
Oh, so you don't have to lick a stamp. It is licked for you by Jeff Idelson, the president of the Baseball Hall of Fame. He licks it and he sends it to you, so he's making it as easy as possible.
Right. I'm not sure whose saliva is on the stamp, but I can say that you literally are not allowed to do this by email. You have to return that envelope in the mail by a certain date, and I look forward to it every year. I do great research, and I come up with a boffo
When
ballot.
he says great research, he asks his sons, Michael and Chris, who he should vote for. This year's nominees, it is a weak list of candidates.
I only see one.
These are the newcomers, by the way. There are other people on the ballot. These are the newcomers.
Right. These are the newcomers. Ryan Braun, Edwin Encarnacion. He has trouble with that name at a minor league game. See if you can find Greg Cody having trouble with that name at a minor league game.
Why'd you skip Shin-Soo Shu?
Gio Gonzalez. I didn't. I've got 10 other names to get to here. I haven't skipped it. I haven't skipped it. It's still
You
on
skipped
here.
it. It's Ryan.
skipped it.
You went Ryan Braun.
I have not skipped it. I'm getting to it. I've got 12 names.
Yeah. Why would
It's
we
alphabetical
bring
order.
this
Two
out of
names.
order?
Look at
I
this
got
list.
2 names.
Weird.
I've got
Shoe
12
right there.
newcomers here, and you attacked me after I said
got the
2
same
of
list
them.
in front of me.
I've got a different list in front of me.
Well, you got the special list.
I've got a special Dan Le Batard list sent to me by Jeff Idelson with Jamar Chase's saliva.
Show us the list.
Asian bias.
Alex Gordon, Cole Hamels, Matt Kemp, Howie Kendrick, Nick Markakis, Daniel Murphy, Rick Porcello, Hunter Pence, and I don't think I mentioned...
Again, you're really out of order.
Gio Gonzalez. There was no orders, just 12 newcomers.
It's alphabetical order.
You guys are doing it alphabetically. I'm not doing it alphabetically.
There are 2 names on here I think should be in.
I don't believe I saw 2 names on here
got
that
one.
I would
There's
put
one that
in.
has a slim chance.
Go on.
Cole Hamels.
That's the one I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm going to say Matt Kemp, but I know he didn't have the, he should be a Hall of Famer. You look at him at his peak.
Not enough longevity.
That's just a guy that you looked at him at his peak, this guy should be a Hall of Famer. I know he's not. I'm just saying that guy, what a career letdown that was at the end.
Well, the other thing is, and I've tried to explain this in the past, with me, there's a difference between being a Hall of Famer and being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I don't want to do this again with you. I'm not interested in doing this.
This is a
with
fun
him.
game.
No, it's a
Yes.
boring
Hall of Famer
game.
or first ballot
I'd like
Hall of
some
Famer?
new opinions, not some recycled, refreshed opinions
They're
here.
vital every year. They renew themselves.
Who did you vote for?
I haven't voted yet. I haven't got my ballot.
But you said you do meticulous research. Have you started doing it yet?
No, I literally just got those names yesterday.
Who's the person on here that's just excited to be on this list?
There-
Rick Porcello, right?
I mean, that's a
What
pretty
is
good
he
one.
doing
I mean,
on this
Howie
list?
Kendrick.
Come on, Nick Markakis, Daniel Murphy. Yeah, Howie Kendrick.
Ridiculous.
Ryan Braun's going into the UPS Hall of Fame. He framed the FedEx delivery guy, right? So UPS is like, Ryan Braun, he's good in my book.
Was it the FedEx guy that he complained about? I thought he complained about the urine guy. The guy who came to his house and took the urine sample is the one that he contaminated.
I thought it was the FedEx delivery guy who took the sample and was supposed to deliver it. And he said, oh, he's the guy who probably messed it
I'm
up.
on it.
Okay, Jeremy, you will get us the factual.
What a whopper.
Remember, yeah, that is one of the great Whopper press conferences of all time.
I mean, look, I was doing Mad Dog Radio at the time, and I was like, this guy, you know what? Everyone's upset. Let me applaud him, man. This is one hell of a ballsy liar, man. This guy went to great lengths and extremes to say, look, I didn't do it.
ESPN, November 27th, 2013, from Milwaukee. Brewers outfielder Ryan Braun said Wednesday that he's, quote, made amends with the collector he accused of mishandling his urine sample, which produced a positive drug test as part of Major League Baseball's biogenesis doping scandal. So it is indeed the urine collector.
That was one of the amazing press conferences of my lifetime in sports, because I will tell you that his conviction was such, and he leaned into it so much that he made me believe him.
That's how you do it, Dan.
He's won Palmeiros too, right?
I mean, Palmero shaking his finger at Congress was certainly strong, but the Ryan Braun press conference, see if you guys can find a condensed version of that so that I can show the people what a giant lie this was. And I will again recommend the movie Screwball, the documentary that Billy Corben made. I don't know if you guys have yet seen. I have not yet watched it because I was told on HBO Max that Alex Rodriguez had an editorial hand in Alex versus A-Rod, the quote-unquote documentary that is on HBO Max. The real true story of what an incredible clown show the baseball steroid era was that came through South Florida with Ryan Braun, through tanning salons and just strip mall clinics, is so laughable. It's so funny, the amount of incompetence that went into Manny Ramirez and A-Rod and Ryan Braun just going to the local strip mall. And there's so many of these in South Florida, so many of these anti-aging clinics. The amount of incompetence would make you aghast to know that this was not some systemic multi-million-dollar science experiment with people who were doing very smart things. It was just a unfathomable clown show. So I urge you to find Screwball wherever it is that you get your documentaries by Billy Corben.
Now, Dan, respect to your nominations of Ryan Braun and Rafael Palmeiro, but Lance Armstrong would like a word. Oh, yeah. He destroyed people's careers to make that lie live on forever.
I'm not with you with the Lance Armstrong stuff,
What?
man. Yeah, you know what? He raised an incredible amount of money for cancer research.
He destroyed people's careers.
But he's trying to save lives.
No, he wasn't. First of all, Live Strong was not about curing cancer. It was just about making cancer patients more comfortable.
Pretty good thing.
Good thing. Good thing. Also, he was a piece of shit. Not only cheating,
Both can be
but
true.
destroying people.
All right, hold on. Exhibiting the behavior of
Sorry,
a piece
sorry,
of
I
shit.
apologize.
In fact, no, wait a minute.
No.
Your apology's not good enough. We're going to have to know. What you just did there is not acceptable, so
Okay,
I'm going to have
Leroy,
to.
is that
I'm
what they're
sorry.
looking for?
Minor penalty, 2 minutes for a shit contribution.
How about allegedly a piece of shit?
I just think the Lance Armstrong thing is complicated. I don't think it's very cut and dry.
Well, but what he was saying is just the adamance and the defiance of the lie,
Sure.
how bold-faced the lie was, and it's a good call by him when he says Lance Armstrong would like a word, because Lance Armstrong was absolutely defiant in a way that made a lot of people believe him and feel all the more betrayed because they believed the strength with which he argued his position.
And he did ruin people.
Which he did for several years. Like, he was adamant in a way that's a good call by Amin. That was stronger than the one press conference that Ryan Braun gave on a field. I think he was on a field in Milwaukee, and we're going to get that sound for you.
But he also did behind the scenes, apparently, and I forgot this part, called Dino Lorenzi Jr., who was the man who handled the urine sample, an anti-Semitic Cubs fan.
What?
It was pretty good. Accusing him of both,
Yeah.
being an anti-Semite
Yeah.
and a Cubs fan.
Which would make him hate Ryan Braun more?
I actually think the Cubs fan, because Ryan Braun, half Jewish, full brewer.
Well, we gave him
Half Jewer, full brewer.
No, Hebrewer.
Hebrew Hammer.
Yeah, we called him the Hebrewer, and I thought that was one of the great nicknames of all time for Ryan Braun.
Anti-Semitic Cubs fan.
Yeah, it was poor Lewis, because our computers just went down there while Roy was trying to find the Encarnacion sound of Greg Cody at a minor league game. The computer went down, and so poor Lewis is going through what I believe was like a 14-minute Ryan Braun press conference and trying to edit it down into 2 quick minutes. But I could not look. After covering sports for as long as I have, I would say that generally I'm skeptical. I can be cynical. I'm not always naive, though I can be. Ryan Braun changed my opinion because my reaction to his press conference is nobody would lie that way. Nobody would lie that strongly if they had him, and they had him.
On this episode of the Alley-Oop coming up, first and foremost, is Kevin Durant still one of the greatest players on earth? 2, are the Knicks already in trouble? And was I out of pocket for threading at Draymond Green? Well, not even at him, just about him, Juju.
Look, whether you was right or wrong, Draymond think another brother was wrong as hell at the Pelican games as well. Lock in.
Lock in, damn it.
Mike said it best. The press box has changed. I mean, seriously, get over yourself. We're going to talk during the post game. Tim Reynolds, enough. I mean, enough.
I mean,
seriously.
you just got to know when
You're
the
not
Dan
allowed to cheer in the press box. Did you know that?
Well, I did.
They were cheering for Will Manso. I think that's allowed.
And Goldie.
If the Dan Le Batard Show comes to a hockey press box, hilarity is going to ensue.
Yeah.
They're going to yell at Will Manso for 7 minutes, and you're probably going to have to go to a
7
stairwell
seconds.
to write, man. Like, it's just...
If it was 7 minutes, I'd get it.
It
was
is what
7
it is.
seconds.
Exactly. I mean, David, everyone else was saying hi. They were enjoying the show. They were laughing at us. But one guy is still clutching on to his newspaper deadline.
I'm a little
and it's
disappointed.
Tim Reynolds.
And is he your demographics, Stu?
I don't know.
I happen to like Tim a lot, and
Enough of
I
him.
imagine this was going to be like E.J. Raddick or something, but that's just a bad look for Tim Reynolds.
Listen,
Yeah,
I went
glad
up
you
to him
appreciate
afterwards.
This was the best part. Stugotz
Yes.
is like, I've known Tim for years. I'm going to go
Yeah.
fix this. He walked to Tim and walked right back very quickly.
Yep.
It was a very quick interaction.
Well, he was writing. Okay?
He's on deadline. It's
Enough of the deadline.
It's a
We're
work.
on deadline, too.
defend him.
We're on deadline.
Don't
I gotta get
defend him.
home. I feel like playoff hockey. I got to get home. I mean,
Yeah, we're on deadline too. We got to get that post game out.
It is a working press box. Tim Reynolds is a journalist who's trying to write, and Stugotz is back. back there. Hey, Will Mitchell!
That was Chris and Goldie. Don't leave out Goldie.
We're on deadline, too. They're going to kick us out of that press box a lot sooner than they'll kick out Tim Reynolds, who's just typing away. That's just
Those writers had their game stories done before the end of the
Precisely.
game.
Yeah, a good writer, right.
Oh,
what happened there? I apologize to him. I went out. I've known Tim for decades. I mean, Cody was done. He was out of there. I mean, you know.
What was that interaction like, Stugotz? Take us behind the scenes. You walk up to him. You say what? He says what?
I said, Tim, I apologize. That's on me. I should know better. Not Chris, okay? I should know better. I've been in press boxes before. I know you have a deadline. I apologize. And he said, that's fine. Just, try to keep it down.
That is way too long.
That was
Way
much
too
longer
long.
than the actual
He's on
conversation.
deadline.
I always extend it a little bit.
Can
I mean, you guys
we
know that.
call Tim Reynolds and just ask him about what the
Don't,
interaction was
no,
like?
no.
Greg Cody's back in my day. Seeds.
Seeds. Seeds. Had a slice of watermelon lately? Popped a few grapes in your maw? Then you probably notice seeds are disappearing from fruit. And you probably see this as a good thing just because it makes life a little easier. We love us some convenience. In fact, it's a terrible thing, the de-seeding of us. Symbolically alone, the seed is the king of life. Adam gave his to Eve, and here we are, if you believe the story. If they take the seed out of humans the way we have watermelons, we're all dead ducks. Beans, peas, rice, coffee, corn, all seeds. Flour and oil started as seeds. All hail seeds. So what the hell is happening? In exchange for convenience, we are not valuing the seed's impact on health, biodiversity, and our food system. The genetic variability of most plants require seeds as essential to their evolution. De-seeded, artificially homogenized fruits rely on human intervention in the reproductive process, exposing the fruits to many pathogens. Plainly put, seedless fruits are not as good for you. They contain less fiber and have fewer minerals and vitamins than their seeded natural brethren. Seedless fruits also have fewer antioxidants, plant-based nutrients, and anti-inflammatory properties. But enough about this science. Bring back seeds because seeds are fun. Not to mention aesthetically and visually pleasing. Kids growing up today have sliced open a watermelon, have never sliced open a watermelon, and experienced the joy of seeing that juicy red flesh dotted with embedded black seeds. Nellie Doogie used to tell us if we swallowed a watermelon seed, a big melon would grow on our belly. It wasn't true. But as kids would make a competition out of seed spitting. You extracted the big seeds from the melon flesh. Tongue only, never fingers or a utensil, and you'd see who could project a seed the farthest. Every summer we did that. This was before video games, kids. Made our own games and toys. Flew a kite, kicked a can, spit a seed. Grapes were the real challenge because the seeds were so much smaller. We'd both pop a grape in our mouth, tongue moving, jaws in action, and whoever could spit out 3 seeds onto the table the fastest won. To this day, I carve real pumpkins and eschew the free-fab foam and plastic fakes, mainly for the treasure trove of seeds inside. Hundreds and hundreds of them waiting to be scraped out, cleaned, and roasted in the oven to become delicious natural snacks. Respect, worship, and bring back the seeds. I need a t-shirt that says convenience is overrated. Insist to your local great grocer that you'll take your This just in, Inter Miami soccer coach Javier Mascherano is now reporting that Alexander Barkov may be back with the Panthers by late February.
Thank you, Greg. Always appreciate your hard work. Also appreciate, now that we've found it, your work at a minor league baseball game where you had so much trouble announcing the last name of a Hispanic baseball player, even though you've lived in South Florida all of your life.
Stepping to the plate, number 13, Yeltsin and Encarnacion. I'm a human being. I mean, I'm not infallible.
Also fallible, Ryan Braun. Let's play a compilation of Ryan Braun angrily denying that he used steroids, even though he clearly and obviously used steroids.
I truly believe in my heart, and I would bet my life that this substance never entered my body at any point. If I had done this intentionally or unintentionally, I'd be the first one to step up and say, I did it. The system, in the way that it was applied to me in this case, was fatally flawed. I had a conversation with the Players Association. I expressed to them that I have not done anything that could have possibly led to this test result. I've already addressed everything related to the Miami situation. I addressed it in spring training. I will not make any further statements about it. The truth has not changed. I don't know the specifics of the story that came out, but I've already addressed it. I've already commented on it, and I'll say nothing further about it.
Excellent generic guitar news music. She's the longtime SportsCenter host. She's the host of ESPN's Vibe Check. It's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Disney+. I have missed her. We miss her. Why do you hate Riley Moss so much? Why are you going angrily and publicly after poor Riley Moss as your Broncos have a great defense and we're just winning one of the biggest games that you've seen them win in the last 10 years?
Oh, hey, what's up, Greg? You know what? I was going to say that, but it doesn't have the same ring to it when Greg's actually sitting there. Like, I could just be saying hi to Greg. Hi, Chris. Hi.
Hey, Al.
God, so many thoughts. You guys always come in with just so many thoughts. So many thoughts about Ryan Braun. Like, first of all, I hate when people say shit like, I'd bet my life. That's not a real bet that you can do on FanDuel, so those are hollow words. Secondly, why would you hold that press conference at a ballpark? Anyway, back to Riley Moss. Dan, Riley Moss was really, really good in that Broncos secondary last year, like a captain good. He gets hurt. He's not the same when he comes back. That's to be expected. And this year, he is just... It's a tough assignment when you have to line up across from Patrick Surtain, but come on, you guys. Whenever there is a flag on Denver's defense, and there's a lot of flags on Denver's defense, there is a 100% chance it's on Riley Moss. It's I don't like at this point, like, give up the touchdown. Good God. It would be a different result than consistently getting called for DPI. That's the game plan now. Oh, we're in a 3rd and long situation. Throw it Riley Moss. He's sure to give it to us. It's just ridiculous.
I'm used to seeing you this way about the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm not used to seeing you this way about the Denver Broncos. So the last time a Broncos game felt like this to you, was it the Super Bowl against Cam Newton?
Ooh, no, I actually felt great about that one because we were beating their ass. To me, it's the fact, Dan, that like we win the Super Bowl the same year I start working at ESPN, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, this is perfect. I get to work at ESPN. My team is the champs. Like, I get to spread this Broncos propaganda to a national audience. And then they fell off and they haven't been relevant. And so they're finally relevant again. They yet again have a good defense. And to me, being able to beat the Chiefs is the way that you assure that things have changed, not only in the conference, but in the division specifically. And so there was a lot riding on that game. And so I was incredibly frustrated. I've tried to play it cool, but like, there's blood in the water. Like, we have the best record, tied for the best record in the league. Like, this is when it counts. And we were beating the Chiefs up and down the whole entire game. And Riley Moss tried to give it away.
Are the Chiefs done? Is the dynasty over, El?
I mean, here's the thing that I think, you know, when we talk about Tom Brady, and I know it's annoying that we always bring up Tom Brady and we talk about Patrick Mahomes. The thing that is always so impressive about Tom Brady is not how many championships he won, but the consistency through 20 years. And so do I think this iteration of the dynasty for the Chiefs is probably over? Probably. Do I think that this is the last time that we're going to see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs go on a run where they win 2 or 3 championships in a row? No. It might take a bit of a pause. They're not very good. They've got a lot of issues. And whereas before they could rely on Mahomes' magic, they can't. But to like put dirt on this man's grave, he's been in 6 straight Super Bowls. Like, y'all stop.
You're still scared of him, right? I think they'd still be favored. I think if they had to go to Denver to play, they'd still be favored the next time they play them as well.
They would absolutely be favored. The thing that's gone for the Chiefs is the mystique. Like the mystique, this idea that like, you know, oh, here they come and they're the Undertaker and they're just going to beat us because the ball always bounces their way, seemingly. I think that is over. So I don't think people are as like nervous and tight to play them anymore, but it's still a Chiefs. And I would still absolutely fear playing them in any important or relevant game.
This is a crazy thing to say in 2025, but Vibe Check is still a super rare kind of show. It's not something that you see on most television, not that looks that way, sounds that way, and has that kind of chemistry between the participants. So recently, what would you say has been the biggest reaction that has been created on any recent topic amongst yourselves on Vibe Check?
I would say, like, we, full disclosure, have not, the three of us, meaning me, Andrea Carter, and Janae Gumake, kind of got Vibe Check off the starting blocks. We haven't really had an opportunity to do it together very often, but I would say in general, Vibe Check is a space where we talk about all sports, but it's really the home for women's basketball. So I think most of the conversation surrounding like Vibe Check and the women's sports space right now is college basketball that's just started. And is UConn A not only going to run it back, but are they going to go undefeated? Because they look real nasty right now. So to me, that's probably the biggest talker, is just shifting gears from WNBA into college women's space, like what that looks like, what the numbers look like, how much more growth we're going to have, and just the parity.
Elle, how big of a threat is Project B to both the WNBA and college basketball?
Hi, Amin. Oh, man. What's up, homie?
What's up?
Oh, hey, what's up, Amin?
Hey, Amin.
Hi, Amin. Amin, famously wearing the white ball cap right now. Yeah, I don't think is the right term. I think that it's an accountability check. Like, it's an opportunity to continue to apply pressure to the WNBA to make sure that these players are getting paid commensurate to opportunity. And so same thing with Unrivaled. Like, this idea that like Stewie and Nafisa don't want things to work out in the W because they have Unrivaled and that helps them. Unrivaled is 6 weeks. Y'all stop. And they pay really good salaries, but it's still not enough to sustain the lifestyle that these players have, right? Like, making $250,000, it's still a lot more than they're making now, but it's not enough to like rest on their laurels and say we don't need other opportunities. So Project B is going to do the same thing that anything else does, which is just apply pressure and give these women another outlet to say, like, we have more leverage to say no to whatever you're laying out for us in the W because we have more opportunities to play. They're paying a ton of money. I think they got the Saudis behind them. And so I love it for the women involved because they have an opportunity to continue to collect bags, continue to spread the sport. Like, Project B is going to be international. And from what I'm understanding, it's going to be a little bit more of like the Formula One model where they do these major tentpole events in countries across the world for a week or two at a time to really showcase the space internationally. It's the same thing that Adam Silver's been trying to do with the NBA. Now they're trying to do it with the W.
Elle, why hasn't Kathy Engelbert been replaced yet? When will that happen? And will it be important in terms of the future of the WNBA?
It will be very important. I do believe it's coming. I do not believe anything is going to happen until they can get this new CBA ratified, because that's ridiculous to have someone in high-level conversations and then to bail right when we're actually reaching like critical time in the space, I think is asinine. So I don't anticipate any change happening before then, but I do anticipate a change coming. And I talked to an executive in the NBA just about sort of the precarious situation that she's found herself in. And, you know, I think the issue that they raised for me is that, like, Roger Goodell gets called a lot of names. He's maligned, like, by fans. He gets booed everywhere he goes. And most of that is because everyone believes that he only works for the owners and he's got the owner's interest in mind only, right? So he's in with the owners and he's not in with the players. That's the idea, at least, the narrative that swirls. When it comes to Kathy, she doesn't necessarily have great relationships with the teams or the players. So if you're not if you're not like currying favor with either side, I just don't know how you survive it. And I watched her, y'all, get booed mercilessly at the WNBA finals when we were in Phoenix. And I think it shocked her. I think it was really off-putting to her to see how she has become the villain in this story. And I think she's done a really good job raising capital throughout the years where it wasn't as easy to raise capital, where we didn't have numbers and metrics to prove that this was a great business strategy. But I also think that, like, the relationship has clearly deteriorated to a place where I don't think it's ever going to be fixed. And if you at least had the owners on your side going, that's our girl and we're going to make sure she stays. But I don't think she has that either. So if you don't have either side, I just don't know how long you're in for this job.
I did not see the basketball game between Notre Dame and Akron, but I did see that Hannah Hidalgo had 16 steals in the game. Is it gas bag male of me to wander over and just say Akron's got a point guard problem instead of celebrating that 16 steals is a fairly amazing thing to do?
I would maybe say Akron has a basketball problem in general, because that's crazy. and like, here's the thing though, Hannah Hidalgo has, since she's come into the college space, has led the league in steals. Like, that's what she does. She's a pickpocketer. But that's absolutely absurd. And at some point you have to go like, what are we doing? I love though that Hannah, the move from Olivia Miles, and like having her move on to TCU was really helpful to Hannah, because I think there was a lot of like head games of, when Hannah first came into the league, Olivia was hurt. So it was her as the point guard, her as the facilitator, like it was her ship she was running. Then she had to sort of share that responsibility with Olivia. And I think both girls were really tepid in terms of like who's the captain here? Like, who's supposed to be leading this team? Who's the one that's sort of dictating pace and all that? So this allows Hannah to go back to her natural position and really be free. And we're seeing that manifest. The issue is that Notre Dame has a talent dearth everywhere else. They lost a lot of pieces and they did not replace them.
Can Iowa State be any kind of reasonable competition to UConn? And if not, who is the most reasonable competition to UConn?
I love Audie Crooks, but I do not think Iowa State can contend with UConn. Maybe a more formidable opponent would be like a South Carolina, just because they've played them before. They're deep, and because defense is huge for them. But legit, guys, I hate that this is one of those seasons where yet again we're going, I think it's UConn's to lose, but it is. I mean, Sarah Strong is going to be National Player of the Year if AZ Fudd stays healthy. Kaylee Heckle coming over from USC, KK Arnold, like they're just too deep, you guys. They're too good. They're too deep. They have too much conviction, and they have Gino Auriemma. So I would say like the usual suspects, maybe an LSU, although they're very point guard heavy and they're not big enough to contend with UConn. Maybe a South Carolina. Don't sleep on like a Texas, just because again, like Texas, I always have concerns with their ability to score, but they are nasty. They'll have you in a 35-38 grudge match in the fourth quarter. So, and UCLA does have the length. I do have concerns about their coach in these big situations. Like, can Corey pull a magic out of her hat? But UCLA is definitely big enough to.
I don't think it's a magic. I don't think it can be.
It might
magic.
be.
I don't think it can be a magic.
It could be. If you pull out Magic Johnson.
Yeah, but that's the only case. You can't.
Can they pull a Magic Johnson out of their hat? That would be a huge plot twist.
L, pick one: Denver Broncos Super Bowl this year or Georgia Bulldogs National Championship.
Boo!
God. This is actually really, really tough.
Pick
I'll
the
go
Broncos,
Broncos. I'll go Broncos Super Bowl, just because we have a couple of championships from not that long ago. I think it's a lot harder in the NFL to win, and so I would go with the Broncos Super Bowl, just because I think that defense deserves one. But damn you for making me choose. It's like choosing between my children, which we can all do, by the way. Anybody in there that has more than one kid knows
go ahead and
you have
it.
a favorite.
Go ahead and do it.
And then my dad will go next.
Go ahead and do it.
My favorite is my son.
Wow! Whoa!
I can't believe she answered that.
Suey nominee for
Anything for
Revelation.
content.
Insane.
Hey, L, you picked the right kid, by the way, because that other kid, Georgia, toothless.
Well,
Hick.
but to be true, Amin, and that's honestly why I'm sort of like this Georgia defense is horrible. The offense is pretty good. It would be very surprising for them to win a national championship. And so it would be exciting, but I just feel like Georgia is always going to be in the conversation, even with a bummy team like they have now. Well, bummy by Georgia standards that they have now.
Fourth in the nation.
No, hey,
but that's my point, you guys, is that like Georgia's defense is nowhere near where they used to be. We do not have the weapons at skill position players like we've had before. Gunner's playing incredibly well. This is not a team on paper that should win a national championship, but they're fourth in the country. And that's my point, is that they're going to retool, reload. They're going to get better next year on defense. They've got some really big recruits coming in. They're always going to be in the conversation, even with a bad team. Like for the Broncos, come on, bro. Like we've won one playoff game in 10 years. Like I'm with it.
I was on the show a couple weeks ago, and I announced that people who go to UGA are mostly toothless hicks. That's the only reason they went to UGA, because that's the only school that would accept them. Georgia Tech and UGA have a big game coming up. It's at GT. Last year we almost beat you, but there's some trickery going on. But it's all good. This is a year of destiny for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, or as Dan calls them, the Golden Jackets, Yellow Jackets. Would you like to engage me in a playful wager? The winner of GT versus UGA.
By the way, you saying that Georgia fans are hickless, toothless, and stupid, which is the only reason they could get in there, then what does that say about me? Because I couldn't even get into Georgia. So I feel incredibly offended and attacked, but that's all right. I'm just a Georgia fan. I didn't actually go there because I couldn't get in.
It's not just you. It's Ernie Johnson, and there's a bunch of other people who fall into that list of just hicks. Just hicks.
We're a little country, and that's all right. What's the wager? I'm in.
All right.
By the way, I'm really happy for Georgia Tech. I am.
Don't do that.
I do not.
I don't need. Hold on. I don't need you.
That's a move. That's pity. That's a move.
I don't need a big sis move from L. Duncan. Like, it's real cute what you guys are doing. No.
You guys haven't been relevant since 1991. I think you do need a big sis little pat on the head.
Yes. Hold on.
It's adorable, Amin, what you guys are doing. It's so cute. It's cute. It's so sweet. You guys are like ranked. It's adorbs. I love it for you. And for the first time in like 20 years, this game between Georgia and Georgia Tech is for more than just bragging rights. It's like for something for you guys. And so I think it's super sweet.
2 weeks from now, the Georgia Bulldogs versus the
Amin's Golden State, Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, that's how Dan calls us.
It's actually perfect, because what I expect in 2 weeks is that Georgia will take a golden shower on the Golden
Whoa! Okay, she always does this. She does dangerous things like this. She's naughty. What is that?
We're gonna do disrespect.
That is you can't do that. That's Disney. You're Disney. That's not Disney Plus. That's dangerous what you just did there.
Disney minus.
Disney minus. What
I stand by everything I just said.
What kind of joke is it?
Terrible joke.
Disney
I like it, Greg.
minus.
It's not only not Disney Plus, it's the opposite.
You got it.
We understand.
Greg's defense, he was just looking for the opposite. I mean,
Greg,
I didn't get it, but then
you.
Greg explained it, and now I get it.
That makes it better. Yeah, now that I understand what you were doing.
Thank you very much.
What did you want?
Hold on. I gotta do this wager with her. If Georgia Tech wins, I need you to wear a Yellow Jackets hat on SportsCenter.
Wow.
I'll do it.
So now what
Wait,
do
they
you
would
have?
just allow that? It's like,
and
hey,
Greg-
I'm wearing
and-
a Georgia Tech hat on SportsCenter today? It's
I
like,
mean, I would
okay.
say you could shout me out, but I figured my name is still like unspoken over there, so I just
No,
a hat will
you're
do.
not. You're not Voldemort. You're not Voldemort. I mean, I will absolutely speak your name and say that I lost a bet. I don't have concerns about having to do that, because when Georgia wins, ooh, what do I want from you? I want you to wear a Georgia hat, and I want you to, whenever you are spoken to, preface any of your comments, regardless of sport or subject, with a "Go Dog Sick 'em." Cool?
Okay, and by the way, we need this for social as well. It can't just be like real quick and then it just disappears
you.
forever. All right.
This is a lame bet. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, what did you want?
Neither of you guys are like upset about having to do it. You're just like, yeah, I'll put on the hat.
You
for
think
5
I
minutes.
want to say whatever the hell she just said? It's not even English.
Go Dog Sick 'em.
Greg, what do you have for L before we play the game that is being celebrated internationally? It's no longer L yes or L no. We've got an upgrade to it.
America wants to know, the U.S. Mint is discontinuing future production of the penny. What do you think of that?
Well, I did see a story that said that like pennies could be going for $1 million at auction or something, which feels like an AI generated story. But I didn't do any research, just like anybody else on social media. So I'm going to go with it and go, if that's the case, I have a treasure trove of pennies in my kid's piggy bank, and I promise you I'm going to rate it.
Hold on to
I don't
those.
care. Let's be real. Even when I was broke as shit, I would throw pennies away. Like I would. I'd be cleaning out my car.
You wasn't broke as shit then.
I was broke.
Going to McDonald's with a 39-cent cheeseburger.
I'd be picking
you
them
know
up.
the deal. You're like cleaning stuff up, and you're like, I'm not gonna go find my wallet for a couple pennies. I'm gonna toss them in the trash, and that's what I did. I threw them away.
How broke were you?
Oh, ramen noodles, and like ramen noodles, but then one pack I'd stretch out for 2 meals. So essentially, I was getting away with like $1.50 a day in meals. I mean, I was fat and bloated.
Grief eater
I
loves
was
that.
fat and bloated.
How you make ramen stretch out to 2 meals?
Yeah, you just half it. You make it, and then you half it. I would put the other part aside. I'd have one meal
break
for
it.
lunch.
Don't they
and
like
then
shatter when you break those like dry noodles in half?
it's incredible. You just, yeah.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Can you be fat and bloated if you're stretching ramen noodles over 2 days? Like that doesn't seem possible financially. It doesn't seem possible metabolically.
Well, that's why I was fat and bloated. It's a lot of sodium. It's a ton of sodium, and the body needed a vegetable. But I couldn't afford vegetables, so that's what I had, ramen.
All right. It is no longer L yes or L no. It's now L yeah or L nah. All right? Are you ready?
It's a hard A on
We're
the
getting
nah.
cooler.
Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right. Wearing a Roman Reigns t-shirt to date night with your wife. L yeah or L nah?
Hell yeah. If you can't be your best ratchet self with your wife, who can you be it with?
Thanks, Al.
UGA grad, what do you expect?
The Rams black uniforms that were apparently blue, but everybody knows they were black.
Yeah, nah. I'm really getting tired of these different color splays. Like, if they don't have anything to do with your past or history or anything like that, like, what are we doing here? Nah.
The Miami Dolphins helmet should feature an old man's ass as the logo. L yeah or L nah?
I feel like there is more to this story, but I'm just going to go L yeah because... Yeah.
That is...
Because their ass.
It's awesome.
Okay,
Awful.
I'm not gonna lie. At first glance,
Yep.
that looked like a different
Yep.
part of the mail.
We all saw the same thing.
Yep.
We all saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it looked like shriveled. It actually, my son is 4, and he stood up in the bath yesterday, and he goes, I promised you yesterday, and he grabbed his balls, and he goes, what's inside of these?
It's a long story, buddy.
That's the favorite. That's the favorite
That's
child.
literally what I said. I was like, it's a really long story, but now I can tell him what's inside of that is the Dolphins logo. So I'll go with that.
What did you answer? Because it's a great question from your son at a young age. What was your answer?
Well, the thing is, guys, I literally don't know what the ball part is inside, like what it's made of. So I just said, oh, it's just like ligaments and
No one does.
tendons and muscles.
Yeah.
All muscle and mind.
I wasn't going
All
to get into
muscle.
the semen part because he doesn't know what that is. So I was like, it's muscles.
The future of the human race is inside your sack.
Okay.
Jack.
It's my biggest muscle.
Sack Jack.
Yeah, I'm
Sack
sorry.
Do you know
Jack.
your own
I
jokes?
thought it was obvious.
Aliens exist.
Hell yeah.
Do you want to expound? Do you want to expound? Yes, I understand.
I just think it's asinine to believe in this whole big ass universe that we think that we're the only ones in it. That's wild and crazy to me. Plus, also, the government literally said aliens exist, so we
And
just
they never
glossed over
did.
that.
Rightfully so.
Florida, Georgia being played in Tampa and Atlanta instead of Athens or Gainesville while Jacksonville Stadium undergoes renovations. L yeah or L nah?
Hell no for me, dude. It's the whole point is that you get to go to the vapid wasteland dump that is Jacksonville one time a year and partake. And I know this because I lived in Jacksonville and partake in the festivities. Like, there's no NFL football that's happening in Jacksonville that's interesting. I also think if you're going to move it to the respective home stadium. Like, I want Florida in Athens. I want to go to Gainesville. So it doesn't make sense to me if you're going to move it from the neutral site to two additional neutral sites. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, wouldn't that have been a nice little treat just for 2 years to be able to play in the home stadiums?
I think it would be great. And I think they'd probably see that, like, that's an even better environment than the world's largest cocktail party. And the smell. Have you guys been to Jacksonville? It stinks.
Yeah, you're right about that
Yeah,
smell.
but when's the last time you were there? Because Jacksonville keeps getting mad at me because I say that because it's paper mills, and they say that that's an outdated reference by me. I haven't been to Jacksonville in about 6 years.
I went to the game this year. It smelled like garbage.
Okay.
There you go.
So it still smells
Those
bad?
are the Gator fans.
The thing that I wanted a ruling from you on, Elle, before we let you go, and I will remind everybody that you should watch Elle on ESPN's Vibe Check. It is on Disney Plus, not Disney Minus. It's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. We had a ranking of what the worst kinds of crying is. Jeremy made a big list of tier of tears where we have a ranking from bottom to top because we couldn't decide whether sobbing was worse than wailing and weeping. So where did you land on your hierarchy, and see if you have any objections here, Elle, to how Jeremy ranked these?
Okay, from the very beginning here, we have frog in the throat, sniffling, sniveling, lamenting, choking back tears. Is it dusty in here? Cutting onions, allergies, shedding a tear, boo-hooing, whimpering, crying, the morning cry, like in the AM, the morning cry, as if you are mourning a death, bursting into tears, waterworks, crying a river, bawling, crying your eyes out, hysterical crying, crocodile tears, blubbering, weeping, sobbing, the shower cry, wailing, the car cry, and the single Noshan Moreno tear.
Wow. God, how depressed are you?
Really?
How do we have mourning like someone's
A
death
shower
in the middle?
cry?
Yes.
Alonzo
Like-
You've never cried in the shower, Elle?
I can't imagine. I don't remember a time where I was just in the shower and was like, this is the time for a good cry.
It's a good spot because you can just let all the liquids out.
Not
the
even
nose,
with the half
the
a pack
mouth,
of ramen noodles, huh?
All the liquid.
And
right.
you're sort of ashamed and alone with your crying. It's a vulnerability you don't want anyone in your family to see, and you're also nude.
Okay, well, I just assumed it was sort of like the water trick when you have to pee and you let water run, so it will convince your body that you have to pee too. Maybe it's the same way for your eyes. Can I throw one on there that
Please.
I personally hate? I hate the cry when someone's trying to talk through the cry.
Oh, the hiccup cry?
I just don't understand why. I just don't understand why they don't want me. and I
That's
just have
blubbering.
this hard
That's
time with
blubbering.
this.
That's
excellent.
blubbering, is it
blubbering?
not?
Is
I
it
think
blubbering?
that's like a blubbering.
I'll put it just a tick above blubbering. So the talk through cry.
Okay.
Talk through cry.
Yeah, the talk through
Yeah,
cry, and then
valuable
I
addition.
do one personally that I don't think is on your list as well, and I hate that I do it. But the warning cry, where I warn you I'm about to cry. So I do that a lot actually. I'll start to say something. I'll be like, and when it comes to my kids, I'm sorry, I'm about to cry.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
I do that.
Dad's been doing that a lot.
Yeah.
That's
no, I
just
do that.
going
I can
just
relate.
above allergies and below shedding an actual tear.
Oh, okay. All right. So you don't like the warning. You don't want to be warned that there are emotions that are coming and they're manifesting.
This is
and
not a
they're-
power rankings, Elle. This is we're talking about the power of your cry.
Power
So
of
the
the
most
cry.
powerful cry is that Noshan Moreno tear, the most intense
Oh, 100%.
cry, right?
That's a thug tier.
Above
yeah, a
sobbing,
thug
above
tier.
anything else. Oh, a thug tear. Oh,
It's
man.
a thug tear. Do you know how hard it is to just have one singular tear come out of one eye? It's the
right.
Denzel cry. It's
Look at me,
beautiful.
Louis.
It's
I wanna-
it's
I wanna have a
mastery
thug
of
cry.
crying.
Let's identify then here. These are Diana Rossini's kids. What would you say this is right here?
Joey, off the oven. What do you want? What are you looking for? I don't know where your Allosaurus is. What are you looking for? No lollipops.
Wow. That's a reason not to have kids right there.
What's the word we give that? Is that sobbing? Is that wailing? What gnashing? What is that?
Yeah, being a toddler, like I'm. It's so relatable. I would say that's like a whine, blubbering. I think it's like a mix of both, but it's incredibly relatable. My son had that same reaction today. He started screaming this morning at breakfast, like screaming at the top of his lungs. I said, "What's wrong with you, Xander?" And he said, "My cinnamon roll is hot." I was like, Jesus Christ. Diana's
Rough life.
exasperation is exactly how I feel 90% of the time. So yeah, that's one of those. You just got to ignore them.
She said it publicly. Xander is her favorite. I can't
Yes.
believe she said it publicly. She just doubled down on it. It's lovely seeing you as always. Vibe Check, Disney Plus, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Nice seeing you, Elle. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
And SportsCenter.
Yeah,
Bye, Greg.
and also Sports
Bye.
Center, where
Bye, El.
Amin is hoping that she will be wearing a Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets
I won't be.
baseball cap.
Get out of here, El! The segment's over.
The segment is over. We are talking a lot about the best teams in the NFL, and I believe the best one I saw Sunday lost and had 4 interceptions because the stat I'm about to give you, maybe you will not be surprised by this, but the 2013 Broncos and the 2000 St. Louis Rams, that's the greatest show on turf, okay? And the Seahawks, these Seahawks are the only teams since 2000 to have, through 10 games of the season, a point differential of at least 100, but they're negative on the turnover differential. They're so good at offense that they turn the ball over a ton, but they have a point differential over 100. It's the greatest show on turf, and it's I believe it's MVP Manning, 2013 Broncos, an offense that was really good. I think the fact that the Seahawks were kicking against the Rams for the game with that amount of turnovers makes them a team that, even though they lost, I know we don't do this when teams lose, but even though they lost, they showed me something that makes me think that this might be a team that is so much better than the other teams that even against the Rams on the road, the Rams team that we all know to be good, a Rams team that in the last 7 games, their quarterback has 22 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, they were kicking for the game at the end. I believe people are sleeping on the Seahawks just because they've lost a couple of times to the Bucs at home, and I know that seems to be their fatal flaw, that Darnold's going to have the turnovers. But if he doesn't have the turnovers, they're going to beat you. And even if he does have the turnovers, they're probably going to beat you.
I have a stat to sort of support what you're saying here, Dan.
Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day.
Stat of the Day is presented by Amazon Prime Video. Thursday Night Football is on. This week it's the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans. Coverage begins Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video.
Per our friend Diana Rossini.
What'd she say?
Seahawks wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Careful.
Is the first player in NFL history to record 75-plus receiving yards in 10 straight games to begin a season. That's the type of weapon that Sam Darnold has there. Mm-hmm. So if he doesn't turn the ball over, he has one of the elite receivers in the game, period.
He's magic, that guy. He's a Lobos MVP candidate. That's how good he is.
That's how he is.
Sam Darnold's situation, I think, is pretty interesting because as opposed to last year, and granted at this time last year, we're wondering, okay, is Sam Darnold real? And kind of found out maybe he wasn't. Minnesota was going to have a decision whether they want to keep him or not keep him. Seattle already made a decision. Like, he's the guy. Short term, long term, this is the guy they're building their team with.
Amin, can you give us an NBA stat of the day?
Certainly.
Let's play the music again so that we can do an NBA stat of the day as well. I was going to ask for the long version.
Start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day. Start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day. Start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day. Start of the day. This is start of the day.
So, Dan, the Thunder won big last night, and once again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did not play in the fourth quarter. However, he only scored 23 points. The game before that, he scored 30 points without playing in the fourth quarter. So I looked up who leads the league all time in 30-point games without playing in the fourth quarter.
Well, I want to guess.
You want to guess?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Michael Jordan.
No, sorry. I should say the stats only go back to 96, 97.
Oh.
But also, Michael Jordan didn't sit out a lot of fourth quarters because back then, everybody played 48 minutes. So, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is actually tied for second with 24 such games. Number 1, Steph Curry, 29.
They beat New Orleans last night. New Orleans is a sewer, like as a basketball city. Zion Williamson is going to be a historic bust. He lost a bunch of weight and still doesn't play enough. I'd be really sad if I were a Pelicans fan, but I don't recall. I may be doing this wrong. For all the legend of Michael Jordan, I don't remember them always being up by 30. I don't remember what OKC is presently doing, where their star can sit out all the fourth quarters going back to last year, is something I only remember Golden State doing in my lifetime watching basketball. Do I not have the proper recall on what Michael Jordan's teams were doing? I don't remember them, not even the year that they won 70-plus games, do I remember them always being up by 30.
So, Dan, the best net rating of all time was the 95-96 Bulls. It's broken right now by the current Oklahoma City Thunder. Wow. Let's see if they can finish the season out. But number, 3 is the Thunder last year. Number 4 is the Bulls from 96-97. So they were very dominant. But, Dan, again, it was very rare, the idea that you would sit your players in the fourth quarter because you were up so big. That wasn't really a thing that much in the NBA. You had to take it to like 5 minutes or 4 minutes left in the game before you pull your starters.
What is the shirt you're wearing, Zaz? Why are you wearing that shirt?
It's my favorite rapper, Playboy Cardi. He was here the other night at Amarin Bank Arena.
Why? Did you go see it?
Nah, you would never catch me at that show. My son went. My son's a big fan. My son loves rap music, and he loves Playboy Cardi. And my son was there 2 nights ago. He bought me a shirt.
That is your son making fun of you, right? That is your son disrespecting you?
Maybe. I wasn't sure. Like, he went to the show Sunday night. He had VIP. He loves Playboy Cardi. And he came home, and yesterday he showed me a couple shirts he bought. And he goes, here, I bought this one for you. I was like, wow, that's awesome. I will wear it tomorrow. He might be mocking me. I don't know for sure.
I'm pretty sure he's mocking.
Playboy Cardi, the antagonist. Tour.
Any relationship to Rico Cardi, the former great baseball player?
Why do you do this? You did this with Alonzo Mourning. Like you are descending into the same joke again and again. Somebody says a word, and then you just name the
Playboy Rico Cardi. I mean,
Greg,
they could be related.
Yeah, they are related. It's called word association.
Hello.
It's a fun game, okay, Dan?
No, they are. They are absolutely related.
Okay, excellent.
Can you please give me the playing years of the baseball player that Greg Cody is mentioning? Because
underrated. Not quite a Hall of Famer, but pretty close.
Tell you what, he gave me the shirt, stunk of weed.
1963 to 79.